Hey guys, welcome to the first video that we'll be having this year. And these videos are going to be kind of what we are using in order to deliver content while I am in the building making music with students. When you're at home learning virtually, whether or not that is all 5 days a week or if it's only 3 days a week, my expectation is that you watch this one video for the week, follow the steps very closely in order to get your at-home grade for the week. This week, of course, we're going to be grading our own work. Ladies and gents, this is going to be a pretty exciting next step for us because we have designed our own projects and now we get to finally review our own work and the work of our collaboration partners to assign a grade for ourselves and them for the Design Your Own project. So here's what this is going to look like. I want to break down our grades a little bit more for you here really quick. Just so you get a really clear understanding of what the grades will be. I'm going to move my camera up here and then you can see there are 3 categories that you are going to be graded on this week. For the practice and participation, I'm asking that you leave at least 4 pieces of specific celebratory feedback on other students. This will be students who are different than your collaboration partner on their blog posts for the Design Your Own project. Then, for your formative grade, I broke it down into 3 different steps. Did you grade your own work? Did you grade your partner's work? And again, let me be very clear. You're going to be grading your work with the rubric you made. You're going to grade your partner's work with the rubric they made. And then I'm going to ask that you leave at least 2 pieces of specific constructive feedback on your partner's piece. This will be different than like the celebratory feedback that you leave for the other students in class. At this point, we should have developed a working relationship with our collaboration partners that allows us to give them something a little bit more critical, give them feedback that pushes them a little bit more, much like you saw in that Austin's Butterfly video. And last but not least, the big summative grade for this unit is, does your Design Your Own art piece meet the expectations of your rubric? So I'm going to go in, I'm going to check out the rubric that you made in that Pear Deck, and I'm going to assign you a grade for your summative, deciding whether or not you met the expectations that you set for yourself with that rubric. Just a quick reminder, ladies and gents, the people who will be grading your work are me, your teacher, Mr. Blake. You yourself will be grading your own work, and then you will also have a collaboration partner or another classmate who is grading you. The places that we're going to be typing these grades is in those collaboration chats. That's where I'm going to be looking for not only the grade that you give yourself, but the grade that you give your partner. Just a quick reminder, those collaboration chats, this is not news to any of us. We all have had access to our collaboration chats for the last 3 or 4 months. This should not be a new piece of information, but just a quick reminder on how to find those collaboration chats. And again, ladies and gents, I want to remind you what these rubrics that we made look like. So there are 3 categories. The planning category. What did you do when you planned to prepare making your art? The execute category. Did you make the art, and does that art meet those measurable standards that you set for yourself? And then today, you'll be executing the respond section, giving feedback not only to your collaboration partners, but then celebratory feedback to everybody else in the class. So first and foremost, we need to know what grade you think you ought to assign to yourself. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to go to that collaboration chat and find the rubric that you made for yourself. You're going to give yourself a letter score in the first 2 categories. Now remember guys, the first 2 categories of that rubric are planning. How did you plan? How did you prepare to make the art? And then the execute section. What are those measurable standards of your art piece? So what you're going to do is you're going to check and see if your Design Your Own project meets the expectations that you set for yourself. The questions that you should be asking yourself is, how well did you plan for making this art piece? If you said that you were going to do a storyboard, did you do that? Did you submit it to the collaboration chat? If you said that you were going to ask Mr. Blake or your partner for feedback, did you do that? And did you submit that to the collaboration chat? If you said you were going to do a rough draft of your artwork, did you do that, and did you submit it to the collaboration chat? The second question you need to ask yourself is your piece as long, or did you do as many as you said you would? Is it as many panels in your comic book? Is it as many minutes as you said your song would be? Is it as many drawings or photographs that you said you would take? The third question you should be asking yourself is, did you include all the standards for success that you planned for? Now, guys, remember, we were pulling these standards for success off of the class website from the criteria for success lists in each of the specific art form categories that are listed on that website. And you're going to synthesize all of this information into a letter grade, and you're going to tell me in that collaboration chat, what grade do you think your work deserves? The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to give our partners some feedback. So we're going to take a moment after having graded ourselves to find the post that our partner put on the website. The KidBlog website, I should say. And we're going to leave them some very specific suggestions on that website. Now, I want to be very clear about these suggestions. These suggestions can be and should be a little bit more critical. You should be making some pretty pointed and very specific suggestions that pushes your partner to make better art next time. You can use the sentence stems that you see here on this screen. And again, let me remind you, we've developed a relationship with these collaboration partners that allows us to give them feedback that might be a little bit more critical, maybe a little less positive, but this is only to help them become better artists. You can use the sentence stems, hey, I think you should have thought more about, or I'm wondering why you made, or next time, maybe you should try, or you can say something like, I think you could improve this post by. Again, please be very specific when you leave this feedback. The more specific you are, the better chance that your partner has to get better next time. After you're done giving them feedback, you're going to need to give them a grade. So what I'm going to ask you to do is go back to the collaboration chat and find your partner's rubric. Now, all those questions that you asked about your own art piece, you will now ask about theirs. Did your partner plan in the way that they said they would plan? And does your partner's art piece meet the standards of execution that they said they would meet in their rubric? So again, you're giving them a grade in those first two categories, the planning section and the execute section. Now, here comes the fun part. The next step, ladies and gents, is simply to celebrate all the artwork that got made by the entire class for the Design Your Own project. This, ladies and gents, can be a little bit more celebratory, it can be more positive. This is more of a lifting up the community as a whole and celebrating all the hard work that got done. So for this step, I'm going to ask that you check out the projects that your other classmates have made. These are classmates that are not your partner, but just other kids in the class. And the expectation for this week is that you leave at least 4 celebratory pieces of feedback on other students' art. You might notice that the sentence stems are a little bit more positive. You can use things like, hey, I like how this piece, or I think it was good when. You can ask them a prying question or a little bit more of an elevated question like, hey, how did you? Or you can tell them a little bit more about how you interpreted their art by telling them what it reminds you of. So, ladies and gents, here are the 4 steps that I'm going to be looking for when I give you a grade for this week. Your expectations are to first and foremost grade your own project using your rubric that you made in the Pear Deck. Grade your partner's project using the rubric that they dropped into the collaboration chat screen. And then leave specific critical suggestions to your partners. Again, this is suggestions that help them get better. Once you are done giving yourself a grade, your partner a grade, and leaving your partner those very specific suggestions, take another moment to then just explore all the Design Your Own projects on the KidBlog website and leave at least 4 celebratory pieces of feedback on other students from the class. Guys, I'm so excited to see what you think of each other's work. I'm also interested and kind of intrigued to find out what you think of your own work and what grade you think you deserve on this particular project. I think in all of these processes of analyzing our work, analyzing the work of each other, and then analyzing the work of the class as a whole, through that process, we all get better together. And of course, great art builds community, and our community will build itself towards being an even higher quality art center as we move forward into our next projects. Once you are done watching this video, I strongly suggest you watch it again for all of those fine little details. Follow the steps step by step. And whether or not you are in your house for all 5 days out of the week, or if you're only in your house for 3 days of the week, I do expect you to meet all 4 of the expectations that you see here on the screen. That's how you will be earning a grade in the class this week. I mean it when I say it. I love you guys so much, and I love the artwork that you are making. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed, and the community itself, the people I share this artwork are so impressed with the work that you are doing. You should be very proud of yourselves, and thank you for your participation. All right, guys, love you. If there are any extra questions, please send me a one-on-one message. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can and help you feel and be successful in this class. Until next time, guys, I'll say goodbye here. Goodbye. Love ya. Miss ya.